My name is Fatima Patel and I am the founder and publisher of the Asian Sunday newspaper.
I think the Asian Sunday is a really important newspaper for Bradford.
The difference with Asian Sunday is that it's grassroots, it's community based. I think that's really key, that's so important about Asian Sunday. It's a people's newspaper, it's there for the community.
I think it's very important that you have a vehicle that not only delivers news to people within that community but also to a wider community.
I think success is just being right at the heart of things that are happening here, being under the skin of what's going on in Bradford, in the area.
And the paper itself has its roots within Bradford, and it's part of the community, you know what I mean? So that's why I like to get involved in that.
So we're at Bradford City Hall, and this is where my journey began. This is where we launched the country's first free Sunday newspaper, Asian Sunday. As a child, I grew up in corner shops, one of which was a news agency based in Gilstead, Bingley, and I used to go and help work in the shop. I used to love being able to unwrap the newspapers and read the headlines first before anybody else. I didn't actually like delivering newspapers, but I had to do that as well, goes with the job. And I never realised that my love for newspapers one day turned into me having my own. I think my major influence to start a newspaper was there was a massive gap in the market. I realised that there was some amazing Asian newspapers around and lots of Asian media establishing such as radio and TV, but I felt that Asian news wasn't getting the due recognition or the due respect that it deserved. This is the banqueting suite. So this room is very, very special to me. We launched Asian Sunday here, right here, in this room, in August 2011. Bradford means so much to me. Firstly, it was my birthplace. This is where I was born. This is where I was educated. This is where I established my business. It's also very, very special because this is where I work, and Bradford's given me everything I have today. I'm standing here because of Bradford.
Well, people in Bradford always look after their own. It is a strong community in Bradford, and I think you've got to be from Bradford to understand Bradford.
National press only want to look at what's happening in Bradford when something negative is happening somewhere else, and then they might come to Bradford for a response or a reaction. But actually, with the press that we have through Fatima, through Asian Sunday, I think that has really changed. So we have something that is grown from within the community that actually reflects all of the positivity of what's happening in the community.
Reaching that first year, we learnt a lot. There was lots of challenges ahead of us. Firstly, being a brand new newspaper, in times when there's already other newspapers that are 10 years or even 50, 60 years ahead of us, to be able to be accepted by the community, to be able to be trusted with people's stories. But then also in terms of logistics, there was a few little mistakes and errors we made. Originally we tried to deliver 100,000 newspapers door to door, and we quickly realised that was going to be a very difficult task to get that newspaper to every single letterbox. We then decided to change from door to door to deliver straight into the businesses, so people could go and pick up the copies and access the news through the various shops.
I think Bradford has different platforms and different views. The view that the media portray and what the real Bradford is. Considering that it's the 8th largest city that contributes most to the UK economy, and also considering the fact that it's one of the largest metropolitan councils, there is many plus points in Bradford. Its cultural heritage, its diversity, its offering of food from the South Asian subcontinent.
And with Fatima and the newspaper itself, she kind of pushes the boundaries like no other newspapers. She'll talk about taboo subjects, and she's not afraid of that. And I think the community in general, the readers, do like that.
I think the fact that we were out there, we were going out, seeing people and engaging people directly, people quickly trusted us to say, well, they're visible, they're here, they're on our doorstep, they're from Bradford, they live in Bradford. So we were able to challenge a lot of the issues that perhaps would never ever been challenged.
We've had a lot of successes. I mean, one of the biggest successes was launching in the Houses of Parliament in 2013. I was very honoured to also be given the opportunity to honour some of Bradford's greats, such as Dynamo, the magician, Kimberly Walsh of the former girls group Girls Aloud, and one of my favourite Bollywood stars, Kareena Kapoor Khan.
I'm absolutely delighted to be attending Asian Sunday's London launch and actually to be celebrating Bradford's very impressive talent.
She held it at the Houses of Parliament. She got the biggest Bollywood stars that anybody had ever heard of. She got Dynamo, she got Kimberly Walsh, all to the launch of her newspaper. I'm like, how does somebody from Bradford just happen to make things like that happen?
And it's great to see a media organisation from Bradford trailblazing in London. Asian Sunday, which started in Bradford 2 years ago, is a triple trailblazer. It is the first free Sunday paper in the UK, the first ever Asian Sunday paper in the UK, and the first UK Asian media title to be solo owned by a woman, Fatima Patel.
Fatima doesn't really have low moments. She'd have, when she was launching her paper in London, the same paper she started in Bradford, she launched it in London, she did have a fall.
So as I was invited, so I was really lucky, very excited to meet all these people as well. I was going through security, and as I'm going through security, I looked to the right and saw Fatima literally fall from the top of the stairs all the way down in some ridiculously high shoes, which turned out not to be her shoes. So as I got through security, I rushed in. She was in a crumpled heap on the stairs. I picked her up and said, "Are you all right? You all right?" Fatima style, I'm fine. Grabbed hold of her, and at that point I said, "Are you sure you're all right?" She said, "Look, all my guests are arriving. Just get me a drink of water, I'll be fine."
But she still got up and got on with it because she had people like Kareena Kapoor, Dynamo, Kimberly Walsh, the local MPs from Bradford, Keith Vaz. She had all these people at her launch.
She carried on the whole event. She faced all the media. She launched her newspaper. She then met all the guests afterwards, took them for a meal, and then took herself off to hospital.
But after the launch, she realised she damaged her knee pretty well, which put her out of work for about 6 months.
And after that, she was literally out of it for months and months and months. She had operation after operation after operation. And I think at that point, she just thought, I'm going to give up.
So here we are at Ward 27 at the BRI, this is a very, very important part of the 6-year journey of mine with Asian Sunday. This is where I spent most of my months getting better from a ruptured tendon, which later then developed into something a little bit more serious with the shrinking of my bones. While I was in hospital, I think I was really trying to run my office as well at the same time, because we just had this massive launch in London, so everybody was expecting this brand new newspaper to come out in London, and we did launch a couple of issues, but then it wasn't sustainable because obviously it was my vision, and as much as my team did their best to try and fulfill my vision, with me not being within the office and delivering and telling them what that vision was, it was very difficult for them to deliver. So we couldn't sustain the Asian Sunday London.
But even though those 6 months, I don't think she rested. She carried on with the paper. So no, she's quite a strong girl.
But I think I came into work a little too soon and hadn't realised that I wasn't not just physically but mentally not ready to come back to work, because the mental distress that had been caused through the physical illness didn't equip me well enough to come back to work, and as a result I made a decision to close the company, and for quite some time Asian Sunday wasn't being published.
Yeah, she was saying she's going to close the paper down, but I don't think she wanted to close it down. So I think she just needed support from a local network.
But I turned up at a house with my Wicked Witch of the West face on and said, "You're not going to do this, Fatima. You've created such an amazing brand. You are a very resilient woman, and yes, you're ill now, but you will get better."
it was at that point that I realised how much support I had out there, and it wasn't just in terms of friends and family, it was in terms of the wider community, it was in terms of people that I'd never even spoken to before or met before. Readers writing in saying, you can't close the newspaper, we love this paper and we want you to continue, get well, our prayers are with you and come back whenever you're ready. So I'm extremely grateful to all of those people, especially the people here at the BRI.
She is absolutely my hero. I cannot believe that she went through what she did. First of all, the night of the accident, she did not go to hospital. She didn't sit down and cry in the corner. She got up on the stage and she just carried on regardless. None of us were aware that night of actually the damage that she'd done. She then continued with all her hospital treatment, the operations, really dark times, but through it all, she just kept coming back and she just got that beautiful smile on her face. And for somebody to do what she's done and conquer the adversity that she's faced, she is my hero and she knows that.
I think Fatima's really passionate about her work. She knows a lot of people, and she's happy to bring them all together to make the best events for the Bradford community. Like I said, she knows what the local community wants, and she will do everything she can to give them those events that they want to see, the films they want to see, the people they want to meet. She's so driven, and she's really easy to work with, really, really nice, and that helps a lot.
No doubt, she's an extraordinary woman, very inspirational, and she outdoes me in every department. She's passionate, she's got a lot of strength, and she's got a lot of drive.
I just think she's such a genuine, kind-hearted person. Really, everything that she says comes from her heart. She genuinely wants to see better within the community. She genuinely cares about people that that's around her and that she works with.
So nowadays when people report news articles, it's often what somebody said on Twitter or what somebody's posted on Facebook. The actual connection, going out and speaking to people, I feel has been lost slightly. And so it's very symbolic that we're here in Waterstones today, because we've got what I call real books that you can actually feel, that you can actually touch, and you can actually read. For me, being able to hold a physical hard copy is the best feeling ever, and it has kept me on the journey of producing hard copy newspapers. Not to say that we're not on the digital platform, we've maintained digital connection as well, because that's where a lot of our young readers are, but I still do think that there's a massive industry, and people still like to read hard copies. I mean, a lot of our newspapers end up in places like India and Pakistan, mainly because their family have featured in the newspaper for various achievements or various things that they've done. So for them to be able to send that hard copy, to be able to frame it, to be able to record their achievements or their stories, I think is much, much better than being lost somewhere in the digital world.
We're very, very proud of our diversity, and part of that diversity is having a voice for communities within a city like Bradford and within a country like the United Kingdom.
I think I'd want to say thank you to her for leading the way in the kind of news reporting and the kind of reporting that every city should have.
I think I'd like to say, Fatima, keep up the great job that you're doing. Keep up the good work. Keep Team Asian Sunday well done. To the unsung heroes as well as Fatima, the team behind Fatima, that names sometimes don't get mentioned. Well done and bravo to them, and a round of applause. And I'd like to be doing another clip like this in 6 years' time. That's what I'd like to see.
I think she's an absolutely fantastic journalist. I think she's absolutely got her finger on the pulse of what needs to be said and what needs to be reported on. Recent events are testament to that, where she's gone in there. She's not afraid to be criticised, she's not afraid to be outspoken, and I think everything she does is with integrity, with honesty and with passion, and she's a first-class journalist.
Keep up the amazing work. I really respect how hard she works. You can always reach her. She's always there for everybody. She's always thinking about the other people that she works with, running around to make sure that all her partners and collaborators are happy. And I think that shows that she's just really passionate, really driven. So do take some time for yourself, but keep up the fantastic work that you're doing in Bradford now by bringing the community together. I think that's one of the most rewarding things that someone can do, and I think Fatima's doing an amazing job at that.
Fatima, all I can say is you're one in a million, very inspirational, you're full of drive, just carry on what you're doing.
I would just like to congratulate Fatima on her success over the last 6 years with the newspaper. She had an idea, she had a vision, she made it happen, and she's continuing to make it happen. Well done, girl.
Well done on getting your 6 years.
Congratulations to you, Fatima. Good luck with the newspaper. I'm sure it'll be an amazing success.
More about going to take on the world.
Birthday to Asian Santa.
All the best to Asian Sunday, Asian Star Magazine, and to you. And
thank you, and all the best for your newspaper.
Advice to my former self. That's a very good one. Advice I'd give to my former self is have faith, believe in yourself all the time, because often you will come, in everybody's journey there will be moments of doubt, and for me there was a big moment of doubt when obviously I faced a weakness in my life, which was because of my illness, and at that time I didn't have the faith or the conviction to go forward. Thank goodness I had some amazing people around me to help me go forward. So I think to myself and to everybody else, I think it's very, very important to have the right people around you. If you have the right people around you, the right team around you, you can achieve anything. But along with that, you've also got to have the belief in yourself to be able to do that as well. So have the conviction, have the faith, and the rest will be success.
Thank you.